Okay, a quick video tutorial of how this scoreboard, leaderboard spreadsheet actually works, particularly if you're not perhaps familiar with working with spreadsheets. If you're watching this on YouTube standalone, this video will make absolutely no sense whatsoever. This video is embedded as a kind of quick help tutorial on quizprep.co.uk. Okay, first things first, we're working with the team names here. We just simply type in the name of the team, and we'll just go with team name 3 or whatever we want to call these teams, or whatever they call themselves rather. We've got the different rounds going on here. We've got the first, second, third rounds. Of course, you may have a new quiz, you may have, and it's most likely you have more rounds than that, so we'll get to that in a moment and look at manipulating and editing the sheet to suit your needs. Now, first of all, we've got to demonstrate what happens here. The cells that we're going to be changing, well, basically, to cut a long story short here, the purple column along at the very end here, we leave that well alone. That's where the formula lives within the spreadsheet. To demonstrate how this is working, we put some scores in here: 5 points on round 1, 10 points on round 2, and as we click we can see it's adding up along at the end here. Add another 4, click away, and there's 19. So this can speed things up, and of course if you're using TV screens within the venue, this can also be used, and we'll show you that in a moment, how to get this scoreboard up either in real time or a few seconds later onto the TVs. Now, first things first, let's populate the sheet. I've populated one here with some, not random team names, but of course probably a few team names that you recognise there, sort of commonly used team names in Quizland. So let's fill in some scores here. Here we go. We're just going to put some entries in here, and as you can see, it's adding up. And just for the purpose of demonstration, I should make these a bit more random than that. Here we go. So let's just hit some random numbers as we fill these in. And what we want to look at in a moment, it's a bit much, but there we go, is how to sort. So as we fill these in here, let's just fill in all the gaps with as random entries as we possibly can. And the last round, let's give them all 4 points in the last round. There we go. Now, another benefit of using a spreadsheet for your scoreboard is this: you can sort things very, very quickly. So there's your teams here listed in random order. That's the order they handed the sheets into you. This is the scores for round 1, round 2, round 3. As you go along, you can actually take the purple column at the end. We highlight the entire column, and on the Home tab on Excel, we go for Sort and Filter. What we're going to do here is simply sort from largest to smallest. A little command prompt pops up. Just hit OK and sort. What's just happened here? The sheet has sorted itself from the leaders, or the winners in this case, right away. Of course, if you're reading these results out, you can read them from last to first, as you would normally do, but it's sorting it very quickly, and of course you can do that between rounds as well. Let's just take the entries away here from the third round. So now we've got the totals just for the first 2 rounds, and we're going to select the column, largest to smallest. There we go. And we can give updates as to who's in the lead and what points are in it and that kind of thing. So that's the idea with trying to make things easier with the spreadsheet. Now, we mentioned you can put these onto the TV screens. Let's do that in a moment, but first thing is first, we want to add extra rounds. Of course, this spreadsheet sheet has 3 rounds. We want to add perhaps a 4th or a 5th or a 6th round. All we do is select the last round column here, in this case being round 3, and we simply right click and go for Insert. And there we go. We're going to have to amend this a little bit, so we'll call that round 3, and this one here we just call it round 4. Okay, there we go. Now, as it stands just now, we can do this again and again, but as it stands, there's no formula in here to add that up. I'll show you what I mean. We've got a team here. This team here are on 7 and 13. They've got 20 points. If I add 5 points in there and 5 points in there, you'll notice that it's not adding this up. The formula isn't picking up. Now, there's an incredibly quick way to edit this. Let's just add, before we do the edit on the formula, let's just add another round. We're going to insert, so we go for the last row. We're going to go for insert, and again, just amend it, so that's going to be round 4, and this one's going to be round 5. This is not important that you do. This is just for your header at the top. Okay, so we've got all of our rounds that we want to use. Now, in here lives the formula. Here it is up here. Dead easy. All we do is hit this button here that says auto sum, and it's going to select all the cells in that row. On your keyboard, hit enter. Now what we've got is a working formula. So as we add 5 and 5 and 5, it's adding it up every time. Now, you don't have to do this auto sum thing all the way down. Simply take this column here, or this, I beg your pardon, this cell, on the bottom right hand corner. As we roll the cursor over it, the cursor changes shape to a little cross. We drag it down right the way down to the bottom of the sheet, and that populates the formula with the whole sheet. So let's try that with down the bottom. The A team here, let's just give them 4, 4 and 4, and it's working. So all good there. Now, you want to put this onto a TV screen. Let's just assume, without dragging this out too long, that this is all populated with scores. There's our winners, or let's just make sure these are our winners. We sort largest. There we go, so they definitely are the winners. We highlight this particular section here. We can color code it green if we want, and what we want to do is select the entire section where we're working with. Control and C to copy. We jump over to PowerPoint. We paste this in, and once that's pasted in, there we go. Just bring the text and the font up. We can do this within PowerPoint. Just knocking that up just a little bit. That's perhaps too much. And of course, on the TVs, once we hit F5, we go live with this on the screens. We read the scores, and then you can announce that. Well, have a look for yourself. There's your scores on your screen there. Let's assume that all these are all populated with the scores, and of course they can dissect that themselves. So hopefully that makes sense as to how this spreadsheet works. Of course, you can edit this as you please. I've left the thing open for you. You can resize this if you need, or do whatever you want. You can remove rounds just as easily. We just take the entire column, right click and delete. Boom. And it's going to remove rounds from that as well. So you just work with it. I've left it completely open, so that hopefully makes sense of how the spreadsheet works for keeping the scores on the quiz. Thanks for watching.